Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the respiratory system. We're going to talk about the organs and how it works. Okay, this is the nasal passage. Okay, and the throat is also known as the pharynx. Okay, this is a voice box, but better known as the larynx. Larynx, where your vocal cords are here. Okay, this tube that comes down behind the vena cava and aorta is we have the trachea. It's made of rings of cartilage. This tube down here, it goes into the lungs. These two tubes go into the lungs and they're known as the bronchi. Then those two bronchi divide into smaller tubes called the bronchioles. As you can see here, we have one lung. Here's the other lung. At the end of the bronchioles, we have a lot of little air sacs called alveoli, and that's where the exchange of gases takes place, the carbon dioxide and the oxygen at the alveoli inside the lungs. And here you have the lungs. Okay, at the bottom of the lungs, as you can see, we have a muscle called the diaphragm. This muscle is responsible for us to breathe, to inhale and exhale. So this is the muscle called the diaphragm. Now go grab some colors and we're gonna draw the respiratory system. Okay, let's begin. As always, we start with the title, is the respiratory system. I always underline so it looks better and prettier. Okay, good. So let's start. What is the job of the respiratory system? Let's see who can tell me. Someone knows? Someone knows? Well, the actual job is to
supply the body with oxygen, O2, oxygen, and remove CO2, carbon
dioxide. Okay, so that's what basically it does. It supplies, it exchanges in the lungs the oxygen with the carbon dioxide. Okay, so far so good? Good. Now I'm gonna start drawing the parts of the respiratory system. I'm gonna start with black, okay? Now, I don't know if you remember, this is an art attack moment. Okay, first we're gonna start with the head. So we start forehead, nose, lip, chin. Okay, now I'm gonna close the lip, and there you have is a face. Okay, good. If you want, you can actually color the lips so it looks better. Okay, so we have the head. What is the first organ that we're gonna do? We're gonna connect. So I'm gonna keep using the black. I'm gonna connect the nose and the mouth here in a tube. We're gonna divide this. Now, okay, so are we good there? Okay, we have to identify the parts. You can do two things. Either do a line from here all the way over there, or using the color that you're using, you can do a legend, okay? So I'm gonna start here with this one over here in the nose. So if I'm doing a legend, okay, that will be my nasal cavity or passage. Whatever you prefer, you can write it down over here, okay? Now I'm gonna change color. Let's do this one in gold. Okay, here on our throat, where the nose and the mouth get together is our throat, right? Yes, but we don't call it throat in the respiratory system. We call it the pharynx. Pharynx. Pharynx, throat, THPH, throat, pharynx is over here. Is what I made in gold. Okay, now I'm gonna move down. I swallow, then I'm gonna find a little box here, okay, where you have the vocal cords, or better known as a voice box. But in the respiratory system, we're gonna call it the larynx. Larynx, that's where you have your vocal cords, okay? Now I'm gonna share with you this very fun and amazing fact that you might not know. Okay, guys, if you touch here and you say your name many times, Maria Alba, Maria Alba, Maria Alba, Maria Alba, la 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 la, it vibrates. That's where you have your voice box, or better known as the larynx. And it's the beginning, basically, of your main tube called the trachea. So it's over here, so you can put your fingers there and say something, or just say your name, or say la 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 la, larynx, 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 and you feel the vibration. That's where the larynx is. Now, I'm gonna share with you a very fun fact. Over here, there's a little flap on top of the larynx. Okay, that little flap is actually what controls if either you're breathing or eating, and it's actually called the epiglottis. Okay, because there you have two tubes. I'm going to show you now. You have the stomach and the trachea, and there's that flap that decides if your body says, okay, if I'm drinking or eating something, I'm going to close the trachea so the food goes to the stomach through the esophagus. And if I'm breathing, I'm gonna close the esophagus so the air goes straight to the lungs and not to the stomach. So that's a very important flap, and that's sometimes when we cough, or if we start having hiccups, maybe the food went to the wrong tube, to the trachea, and your body's trying to help you, and the epiglottis will help control that. Epiglottis over here. Good. Let me show you a little bit more about the trachea with the esophagus and the epiglottis. Okay, if you see here, Richie, over here we have the trachea, and behind you can see the esophagus that connects to the stomach. Okay, so you have those two tubes, one in front of the other, as you can see here, on the top. Okay, on your throat, this is the larynx, la 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 la. Okay, now over here, you have that flap that controls either if you're eating or breathing. Okay, now moving on. So we already have those. I'm gonna choose another color, but now I'm gonna use, let me see, purple. Let's say purple. Okay, so after the larynx, I'm gonna move this tube down, and I'm gonna divide it like this in rings. This is our main tube called the trachea. Okay, it's made of rings of cartilage, and it goes all the way down. Okay, now the trachea divides then into two smaller tubes. Okay, and I'm doing it in gray, and they're called the bronchi. Now, why bronchi? Because there are two tubes. Each one will go into the lungs. So we have two lungs. I'm gonna draw here two lungs. Okay, it's kind of a pink color. From the bronchi, it actually breaks into smaller tubes, okay, called the bronchioles. So they branch out. It's like a tree. Okay, those are the bronchioles. Bronchioles. So let's see, we have the trachea that divides into two tubes called the bronchi, goes into the lungs, and the bronchioles branch out into smaller tubes called the bronchioles. At the end of the bronchioles, you have thousands and thousands of millions air sacs, okay, all around inside your lungs. Actually, there is where the exchange of gases take place. And these are called the alveoli. Alveoli is in plural. Alveolus is in singular. Alveoli, you have thousands. And there's where exactly the exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen takes place. But none of this will actually work if it wasn't for the help of a muscle that is under your lungs called the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a sheet of muscle that actually is the one that pulls the air in and squeezes your lungs so the air comes out. So that's the diaphragm. All of that is possible. Got it? So here you have the respiratory system the organs, and how the parts look. Yeah. Bye, see you next time.